scaling up production and marketing deployment. So once you're through to all this, then आपको अपने जो आपने इन्वेंशन किया है उसे स्केल करना है to reach out to the maximum number of customers, end users, as uh, as far as it is possible, so that your product reaches out to the uh, all the target, the TAM, the addressable market of your product. It should reach out to all the viable customers in the market, and so that it can be efficiently deployed in the market and reach out to the customers to meet the requirements. So ये होता है कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन, और कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन में क्या क्या पहलू इन्वॉल्व होते हैं ये था उनके बारे में. Now what are the objectives of commercialization? तो कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन का जो पहला ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है, जिस ऑब्जेक्टिव के साथ कोई भी रिसर्चर या कोई भी इन्वेंटर अपने इन्वेंशन को या प्रोडक्ट को कॉमर्शियलाइज करना चाहता है, एक तो सबसे पहला होता है इंडिविजुअल रिवॉर्ड, कि that would help the inventor to fetch some funds, and be it monetary rewards or be it rewards in other forms, कि उन्होंने जो इन्वेंशन किया उसका उन्हें कुछ रिवॉर्ड मिले. It can be retaining by top scientists and engineers, or to even attract new talented technical staff. तो ये कुछ ऐसे रिवॉर्ड्स होते हैं जो अदर देन दी मॉनेटरी रिवॉर्ड्स होते हैं, जो जो कि ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है एक इन्वेंटर का, जिसके लिए वो अपने इन्वेंशन को कॉमर्शियलाइज करना चाहते हैं. अपार्ट फ्रॉम द इंडिविजुअल रिवॉर्ड्स, इंस्टीट्यूशनल फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट एक दूसरा ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है, जिसके लिए अपने इन्वेंशंस को, अपने प्रोडक्ट्स को जो है लोग कॉमर्शियलाइज करना चाहते हैं, जिससे इंस्टीट्यूट को भी एक सोर्स ऑफ इनकम मिलता है, बी इट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ रॉयल्टी और बी इट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इक्विटी. इट कैन बी इन एनी फॉर्म. तो उसके बहुत सारे फॉर्म्स होते हैं. तो इससे इंस्टीट्यूट को एक इनकम सोर्स मिलता है आपके इन्वेंशन को कॉमर्शियलाइज करने से. इंस्टीट्यूट की इनकम जो है इंक्रीज होती है. आगे चल के अगर कुछ लगता है कि कुछ फाइनेंशियल टर्बुलेंस आ सकता है इंस्टीट्यूट में, उसके लिए इंस्टीट्यूट को स्ट्रेंथ मिलती है कि वी हैव अ प्लान बी इन टर्म्स ऑफ कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन ऑफ आवर इन्वेंशंस. फिर एक होता है कि वो सेल्फ सस्टेनेबिलिटी की तरफ आगे बढ़ता है. वो अपने बनाए हुए प्रोडक्ट्स से कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन करके जो भी रेवेन्यू मिलता है, वो उस रेवेन्यू को वापस अपने जो है इनपुट करके अपने ही इंस्टीट्यूट में इट कैन यूज इट फॉर इट्स ओन ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट ऑफ द इंस्टीट्यूट, which would in turn help in the growth and development of not only the faculty and staff, but also the students, the facilities, the infrastructure. तो एक ये ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है इंस्टीट्यूट फाइनेंशियल सपोर्ट का कॉमर्शियलाइज करने के लिए. देन नेक्स्ट इज रीजनल इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ. आप जिस एरिया में है, आपका संस्थान जिस एरिया में लोकेटेड है, जब आप अपने इन्वेंशन को कॉमर्शियलाइज करते हैं तो आपकी और आपके संस्थान की ग्रोथ के अलावा आपका जो रीजन है उसकी भी इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ में जो है कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन एक बहुत मुख्य भूमिका निभाता है. इन टर्म्स ऑफ इट हेल्प्स इन नर्चरिंग द कल्चर ऑफ कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन. आपको आपके संस्थान में कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन होता देख और भी जो रीजनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस होंगे वो भी देखना चाहेंगे, कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन को एक्सप्लोर करना चाहेंगे, वो भी इन्वेंशन में और आगे बढ़ना चाहेंगे, जिससे और इनकम सोर्सेज बढ़ेंगे, फाइनेंशियल इंडिपेंडेंस आएगी, क्योंकि इससे रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट बढ़ेगा इन द रीजनल इकोनॉमी, बी इट इन द सिटी और इन द स्टेट. इससे और ज्यादा रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट फंड्स आएंगे इकोनॉमी में, और ऐसे ही करके जो है आपका इंस्टीट्यूट एक वर्ल्ड क्लास इंस्टीट्यूट बन सकता है. प्लस आपकी जो रीजनल इकोनॉमी है उसमें भी बहुत सारे आप बेनिफिट्स देख सकते हैं कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन के माध्यम से. तो इट नॉट ओनली डेवलप्स द लोकल इकोनॉमी, इट आल्सो हेल्प्स इन improving the national competitiveness. तो इसे कॉमर्शलाइजेशन को देखते हुए और भी जो इंस्टीट्यूट्स हैं नेशनली या इवन इंटरनेशनली, वो भी कॉमर्शलाइजेशन की तरफ आगे बढ़ते हैं। वो और उस एरिया में और रिसर्च पे काम करते हैं और इनोवेशन पे काम करते हैं, जिससे उनके भी जो इन्वेंशन है वो कॉमर्शलाइज किए जा सके, उनको भी इसका बेनिफिट मिले। फिर एक होता है वर्ल्ड इम्पैक्ट। जैसे मैंने बताया, इकोनॉमी के ग्रोथ के साथ साथ ये इंटरनेशनली भी इसका रीच है। तो द academic institutions, the research centers across the world, they keep an eye on it, that how can we, develop such a product or a service or a invention or a technology that can be, commercialized to gain some rewards, then or it can create a high impact on the, world at large. So it helps in demonstrating big success, it helps in establishing centers of excellence, and it brings a reputation also along with it. जो भी institutes पूरे world में commercialization में जाते हैं, you would be knowing it very well that how acclaimed they are. Like आप स्टैनफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी देखिए, वो अपने इन्वेंशंस को उन्होंने कॉमर्शियलाइज करना चालू किया। नाउ has become a epicenter of commercialization of inventions. उनके inventions जो हैं, they have crossed boundaries of the nations and they have reached almost every nation in the world. So ये कुछ फायदे हैं और कुछ objectives होते हैं कि why technology or the invention should be commercialized. Moving forward, now what is technology transfer? टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर जो है, इट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ moving technology from one organization to another. In our case, it is typically from a research institution or say an academic institution or a university right to the industry. किसी भी टेक्नोलॉजी को एक संस्थान से दूसरे संस्थान में ट्रांसफर करना, लेके जाना, उसे टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर कहा जाता है। हमारे संदर्भ में, क्योंकि हम एक एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन है, एक यूनिवर्सिटी है, इट वुड बी फ्रॉम आवर इंस्टीट्यूशन टू द इंडस्ट्री और टू द मार्केट। एंड टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर, इट enables the transformation of laboratory findings into commercial products. तो जो भी आप लेबोरेटरी में जो आप खोज करते हैं, आप जो प्रोडक्ट या इन्वेंशन करते हैं, उसे एक कॉमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट के तौर पे बनाना, कॉमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट की तरफ उसे एक शिफ्ट करना, उसे ट्रांसफॉर्म करना, इसे कहते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर। इसके कई सारे मोड्स होते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर के। लाइसेंसिंग अग्रीमेंट होते हैं, आप जॉइंट वेंचर्स होते हैं, इंक्यूबेशन स्टार्टअप्स होते हैं, इंडस्ट्री पार्टनरशिप्स होती हैं, और कंसल्टेंसी एंड रिसर्च कोलैबोरेशंस होते हैं। तो लाइसेंसिंग अग्रीमेंट्स पे आते हैं। लाइसेंसिंग अग्रीमेंट इज having an agreement on the terms and conditions that are acceptable to the academic institution and a industry partner or a company। उनके साथ आप एक लाइसेंस अग्रीमेंट कर सकते हैं टू ट्रांसफर योर टेक्नोलॉजी और इन्वेंशन एंड मेक इट अ कॉमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट। उसमें आप अपने टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस में क्लियरली स्पेसिफाई कर सकते हैं कि दिस मच इक्विटी वुड बी डाइल्यूटेड बाय द कंपनी, और दिस मच शेयर होल्डिंग वुड बी ट्रांसफर्ड टू द इन्वेंटर, और say this much royalty would be given to the inventor annually or monthly, or whatever your terms and conditions are between the inventor and the company who is going to launch your invention as a commercial product। फिर जॉइंट वेंचर्स होते हैं। लाइसेंस अग्रीमेंट में क्या होता है, आप संस्थान का पार्ट रहते हुए एक अग्रीमेंट करते हैं एक कंपनी के साथ, जिसमें टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस डिफाइंड होती हैं कि आपको इतना रॉयल्टी मिलेगा, इतनी इक्विटी मिलेगी, जैसे भी टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस होते हैं। जॉइंट वेंचर में क्या होता है, यू बिकम अ पार्टनर, आप एक इक्वल पार्टनर बनते हैं with the company or industry or say investor who is willing to take the leap and help you to transfer your technology into a commercial product in the market. सो इसमें आप एक सहभागी बनते हुए एक जॉइंट वेंचर करते हुए आगे बढ़ते हैं, जिसमें द वेंचर शेयरिंग इज डिसाइडेड म्यूचुअली बिटवीन द इन्वेंटर एंड द पार्टनर। तो ये होता है जॉइंट वेंचर। फिर स्टार्टअप इंक्यूबेशन। आप विदाउट ट्रस्टिंग, अगर आप किसी कंपनी को या किसी इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर को ट्रस्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, आप अपने टेक्नोलॉजी को जो है खुद ही एक स्टार्टअप में कन्वर्ट करना चाह रहे हैं, तो वो भी किया जा सकता है। उसका एक टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर का ये भी एक मोड है कि यू कैन ट्रांसफर योर इन्वेंशन you can convert it into a startup. आजकल हर एकेडमिक इंस्टीट्यूशन में इंक्यूबेशन सेंटर्स होते हैं टू प्रमोट इनोवेशन एंड एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप। तो आप एक खुद का स्टार्टअप उसको एक स्टार्ट कर सकते हैं अपने इन्वेंशन को मार्केट में लॉन्च करने के लिए। आजकल गवर्नमेंट की बहुत स्कीम्स हैं, स्टार्टअप इंडिया स्कीम है, और बहुत सारे टेक्नोलॉजी बिजनेस इंक्यूबेटर्स हैं जो कि आपको हेल्प कर सकते हैं टू ट्रांसफर योर टेक्नोलॉजी एंड मेक इट इनटू अ कॉमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट। देन कम्स इंडस्ट्री पार्टनरशिप्स। आप इंडस्ट्री पार्टनरशिप्स में क्या होता है, आप किसी एक इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर को चूज करके उसके साथ एमओयू कर सकते हैं, मेमोरेंडम ऑफ अंडरस्टैंडिंग, या हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू पार्टनर विद द इंडस्ट्री टू ट्रांसफॉर्म योर इन्वेंशन इनटू अ कमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट। इसमें टर्म्स एंड कंडीशंस जो होती हैं वो म्यूचुअली अग्रीएबल होती हैं, और किस तरह से आप इंडस्ट्री के साथ पार्टनर करके you can sell your product under their umbrella, under the umbrella of that particular industry or company while you are working in an academic institution. Next is consultancy and research collaboration. So आप अपने प्रोडक्ट को एज अ प्रोजेक्ट पिच कर सकते हैं फॉर वेरियस रिसर्च एंड कंसल्टेंसी प्रोजेक्ट्स, और you can collaborate with the various partners or agencies that are available, be it private agencies, be it government agencies। आप अपने टेक्नोलॉजी को जो है इन्वेंशन को उन तक जो है उनके साथ कोलैबोरेट करके अपने टेक्नोलॉजी को मार्केट में लॉन्च कर सकते हैं एज अ कमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट। ये सारे मोड्स होते हैं टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर के। मैं एक शॉर्ट वीडियो प्ले करता हूँ। जी, तो ये एक शॉर्ट वीडियो था टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर के बारे में, जिसमें आपने देखा कि कैसे जो है अ, आपके जो इनोवेशन है या इन्वेंशन है, उन्हें कैसे अ, एक कॉमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट के तौर पर मार्केट में लॉन्च किया जा सकता है, क्या उसके तरीके होते हैं। ज़रूरी नहीं कि वो एक प्रोडक्ट ही हो, वो सर्विस भी हो सकती है, वो कोई डेटा हो सकता है, या कुछ और प्रोसेस स्ट्रीमलाइनिंग रिलेटेड आइटम्स भी हो सकते हैं जिन्हें कॉमर्शियल प्रोडक्ट के तौर पे कन्वर्ट किया जा सके। तो ये था टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर के बारे में। नाउ विल कम टू दी टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर लाइफ साइकिल। सो द फर्स्ट स्टेप इज इट स्टार्ट्स विद द रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट। एक रिसर्च के तौर पे वो स्टार्ट होता है, इट मूव्स टू इन्वेंशन, देन द इन्वेंशन इज इवेल्युएटेड in terms of financial aspects, in terms of technical aspects. Then comes the IP protection. आप अपने इन्वेंशन को जो है उसके पेटेंट करवाते हैं या कॉपीराइट करवाते हैं टू प्रोटेक्ट इट फ्रॉम गेटिंग कॉपीड. देन इट मूव्स टू मार्केटिंग. आफ्टर the IP protection is through, then you have to market your product to reach to the right audience, the right customers. Then licensing आता है, obtaining the right licenses which are required for your product to be a commercial product, the certifications that are required. Then the product develop करके, then next is the public use and economic growth. Once the product is ready, it is introduced to the market, to the public and the customers, and gradually and eventually it leads to economic growth. ये होती है टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर की लाइफ साइकिल. स्टेप बाय स्टेप इस पे बात करेंगे. फर्स्ट जैसा होता है रिसर्च. आप एक गैप ढूंढिए मार्केट में, या किसी प्रोसेस में अगर आपको गैप नजर आता है, यू हैव टू फाइंड द रिसर्च प्रॉब्लम, कि क्या प्रॉब्लम है, क्या डोमेन में क्या प्रॉब्लम है, उस पे आप रिसर्च करना स्टार्ट कीजिए. उससे क्वेश्चंस फॉर्मुलेट कीजिए, इस गैप से क्या रिसर्च क्वेश्चंस निकल कर आ रहे हैं, उन क्वेश्चन से ऑब्जेक्टिव्स में उन्हें कन्वर्ट कीजिए कि इन क्वेश्चन से क्या ऑब्जेक्टिव्स मैं एड्रेस कर सकता हूं जिनसे कि ये गैप ब्रिज हो, गैप मीट हो. फिर आगे बढ़ते हुए उसको रिसर्च को और स्ट्रॉन्ग कीजिए कि कैसे जो है इस गैप को मीट किया जा सके. उसके बाद उसके आप कॉपीराइट या पेटेंट फाइल कर सकते हैं. फिर वो डिस्क्लोजर में आगे आ जाते हुए फिर इवेल्युएट किया जाता है इन्वेंशन. फिर उसे प्रोटेक्शन मिलता है, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी प्रोटेक्शन मिलता है. फिर मार्केटिंग की जाती है उस इन्वेंशन की, कि कैसे उसे लॉन्च किया जाए, किन कस्टमर्स के लिए उसे लॉन्च किया जाए, किस प्राइस पॉइंट पे लॉन्च किया जाए, क्या एडवर्टाइजिंग स्ट्रैटेजी होनी चाहिए हमारी, कि सोशल मीडिया पे मार्केटिंग की जाए, टीवी कॉमर्शियल पे मार्केटिंग की जाए, बिल बोर्ड्स पे मार्केटिंग की जाए, न्यूज़पेपर्स में मार्केटिंग की जाए. व्हाट शुड बी द राइट चैनल ऑफ मार्केटिंग, व्हाट शुड बी द राइट इन्वेस्टमेंट इन इट. सो ये सारी चीजें मार्केटिंग एस्पेक्ट में वी हैव टू लुक इनटू इट व्हेन वी आर ट्रांसफरिंग अ टेक्नोलॉजी टू द मार्केट. फिर बिजनेस पार्टनरशिप, क्या हम कैसे बिजनेस पार्टनरशिप की जा सकती है इस प्रोडक्ट को कॉमर्शियलाइज करने के लिए, किनके साथ. वी हैव टू फाइंड द कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री बिजनेस पार्टनर्स. इफ सपोज यू आर वेरी गुड एट टेक्नोलॉजी, आप ऐसा बिजनेस पार्टनर ढूंढिए who is good at marketing. So skills should complement each other. If anyone is good at mathematics, there should be someone who is good at soft skills. So ऐसा skills को complementary होना जरूरी है, ताकि you get a wide range of looking at the product through various dimensions. So एक complementary business partnership बहुत जरूरी है. Then it moves to the commercialization, where it is actually launched in the market to the public, to the end customers, जिससे फिर income generate होना चालू होती है. और then the expenses, inventors, research जो है, जो इन्वेंशन में आपको जो एक्सपेंसेस लगे हैं वो मीट होना स्टार्ट होते हैं, यू स्टार्ट अर्निंग रेवेन्यूज, यू स्टार्ट मेकिंग प्रॉफिट्स। ऐसा करके जो है हम आगे प्रोसीड करते हैं इन द टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर प्रोसेस। ये इसका एक फ्लो चार्ट है ऑफ द स्टेप बाय ऑफ द स्टेप्स व्हिच आर इन्वॉल्वड इन द टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर प्रोसेस। Now, coming to the different stages of commercializing the lab technologies. Commercialization, as I told you, it is a complex journey that requires systematic execution. तो एक सिस्टमेटिक एग्जीक्यूशन बहुत ज़रूरी है कॉमर्शलाइजेशन में। इनके स्टेजेस होते हैं, हर स्टेज पे हमें क्या करना होता है, क्या स्टेप्स लेने होते हैं, क्या रिस्क अवॉइड करने होते हैं, कैसे प्लान करना होता है। ये सारी चीज़ें एक आपको बहुत सिस्टमैटिकली एग्जीक्यूट करनी पड़ती हैं व्हेन यू आर प्लानिंग टू कॉमर्शलाइज योर इनोवेशन एंड ट्रांसफर इट टू द मार्केट। सो इसका स्टेज वन होता है इन्वेंशन, डिस्क्लोजर एंड इवैल्यूएशन। इस स्टेज में जो है रिसर्चर्स दे डिस्क्लोज देयर इन्वेंशंस टू अ टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर ऑफिस और अ सिमिलर एंटिटी। टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर ऑफिस क्या होता है, व्हेनेवर यू हर इंस्टीट्यूट में या हर यूनिवर्सिटी में, हर एकेडमिक फैसिलिटी में एक टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर ऑफिस होता है। हर संस्थान में उसका नाम कुछ अलग हो सकता है। फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे एनआईटी रायपुर में भी कॉल इट आईपीआर सेल, इंटेलेक्चुअल प्रॉपर्टी राइट्स सेल। ये वो सेल या कमिटी होती है या ऑफिस होता है जिनको आप इन्फॉर्म करते हैं व्हेनेवर यू मेक अ इन्वेंशन। These are the first ones you apprise them कि मैंने ये इन्वेंशन किया है और दिस इज द इनोवेटिव प्रोडक्ट और solution or process that I have designed or developed, so that it can be evaluated further. So then they try to evaluate your invention whether it is viable for the market, और वो एक्चुअल में कुछ प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहा है नहीं कि नहीं, वो न्यू है कि नहीं। ऐसा तो नहीं कि ऐसा इन्वेंशन पहले भी हो चुका है एंड यू आर नॉट अवेयर अबाउट इट। सो ये कई सारे एस्पेक्ट्स में उसे इवेल्युएट किया जाता है इंस्टीट्यूट के ही टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर ऑफिस या आईपीआर सेल के द्वारा, जिसमें कि टेक्नोलॉजी सब्जेक्ट एक्सपर्ट्स बुलाए जाते हैं। अगर आप एक इन्वेंशन करते हैं तो देन यू वुड हैव टू प्रेजेंट इट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द पैनल और द एक्सपर्ट कमिटी दैट दिस इज माय इन्वेंशन, एंड यू हैव टू जस्टिफाई इट दैट what problem it is solving, what gap it is meeting, और क्या नया किया है आपने इस इन्वेंशन के माध्यम से। क्या ये पहले तो नहीं किया हुआ, क्या ये किसी के द्वारा पेटेंट तो नहीं किया हुआ है ऑलरेडी। सो ये कई सारे एस्पेक्ट्स पे एक सर्च कमेटी भी रहती है, वो सर्च करती है कि क्या इस सब्जेक्ट पे कुछ पेटेंट्स फाइल्ड हैं, कुछ कॉपीराइट्स हैं, कुछ ट्रेडमार्क्स दिए हुए हैं। अगर ये सारे चीज़ों से क्लियरेंस मिलता है तो फिर जो है उसकी मार्केट पोटेंशियल एक्सप्लोर की जाती है, वेदर इट वुड सेटिस्फाई द नीड्स ऑफ द कस्टमर। क्या मार्केट में एक्चुअली इसकी नीड है, क्या वेदर इट कैन बी कॉमर्शियलाइज्ड इनटू प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस एंड सोल्ड इनटू द मार्केट। सो ये मार्केट पोटेंशियल को भी फिर एक्सप्लोर किया जाता है, फॉलोड बाय द टेक्निकल फीजिबिलिटी कि क्या इस टेक्नोलॉजी को एक प्रोडक्ट के रूप में कन्वर्ट किया जा सकता है, क्या उसमें एक्सपेंडिचर होगा, किस स्केल पे प्रोडक्शन चाहिए होगा, प्रोडक्शन फैसिलिटी सेटअप करने के लिए क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स होंगे, वेदर इट वुड बी फीजिबल फॉर द इंस्टीट्यूट और द इन्वेंटर और नॉट। तो ये कई सारे पहलू हैं जिन पे विचार किया जाता है व्हेन द इवैल्यूएशन ऑफ योर इन्वेंशन इज परफॉर्म्ड in front of the technology transfer office or the search committee or the IPR cell. This is the stage one of commercialization. Next comes the IP protection. Now, once the technology transfer office has cleared that your invention is actually novel and it can be, launched as a commercial product right out there in the market, it is technologically viable. उसके बाद जो है we try to protect the invention in the form of by securing patents or copyrights or trade secrets, trademarks to protect that invention from getting copied by competitors out there in the market. So this is also essential. Apart from the protection that it offers, it is also essential for attracting the investors and licensing partners. अगर आप अपने किसी इन्वेस्टर के सामने पिच कर रहे हैं अपना इन्वेंशन, this is a common question that is asked, that do you have the patent of the product or the invention that you have developed? So if you tell them that yes, I have applied for the patent, or I have received the patent, I have been awarded the patent, then definitely it builds a trust in the investor or the licensing partner that this invention is worth backing, and they should support the invention, and it would definitely bring fruits to them in the future. So, intellectual property protection is the second stage of technology transfer or commercialization. Then comes the market analysis and business planning. अब जो है आपकी वायबिलिटी क्लियर हो गई, आईपी प्रोटेक्शन आपने अप्लाई कर दिया. नाउ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट इज कंडक्टिंग अ थरो मार्केट एनालिसिस टू असेस द डिमांड ऑफ द इन्वेंशन और द प्रोडक्ट दैट यू हैव बिल्ट. क्या मार्केट में एक्चुअली मेरे इन्वेंशन की डिमांड है, उसका टोटल एड्रेसेबल मार्केट क्या है. अगर सपोज आप एक ऐसा इन्वेंशन बना रहे हैं जिससे आप मार्केट में लॉन्च करेंगे, तो उसके सिर्फ 100 कस्टमर होते हैं, कंपेयर टू अगर आप कोई ऐसा इन्वेंशन बना रहे हैं जिसके 1 करोड़ कस्टमर होते हैं. तो दिस इज व्हाट वी नीड टू असेस इन दिस स्टेज ऑफ मार्केट एनालिसिस, कि क्या मेरे इन्वेंशन की डिमांड है मार्केट में, उसे कितने कस्टमर्स वुड बी विलिंग टू बाय माय इन्वेंशन और द प्रोडक्ट और सर्विस दैट आई हैव डेवलप्ड. How much would they be willing to pay for my product or service. ये फैड तो नहीं है, लॉन्ग टर्म रिक्वायरमेंट है या नहीं है. ये सारे एस्पेक्ट्स जो हैं मार्केट एनालिसिस के थ्रू किए जाते हैं, उनकी डिमांड असेस की जाती है. और followed by developing a business plan. A business plan is the blueprint how you're going to operate your business uh, by commercializing your invention or product. कैसे आप अपने बिजनेस को आगे ले जाएंगे, क्या आपकी टारगेट ऑडियंस होंगे, क्या टारगेट मार्केट होगा, कौन कस्टमर्स होंगे, क्या मार्केटिंग स्ट्रैटेजी आप अडॉप्ट करेंगे, बी इट सोशल मीडिया मार्केटिंग और एड रन्स और बिलबोर्ड्स, न्यूज़पेपर, मैगजीन एडवर्टाइजमेंट. क्या मार्केटिंग स्ट्रैटेजी होगी, क्या आपकी प्राइस पॉइंट होगा, क्या प्राइसिंग स्ट्रैटेजी होगी. तो देन आपके क्या फाइनेंशियल प्रोजेक्शंस होंगे, आपको इनिशियली कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए, किस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए, फिर आपका पे बैक पीरियड कैसा होगा, कितने समय बाद आप अपना रिटर्न्स जो है वो देंगे इन्वेस्टर्स को, और if you are taking a loan, in how much time would you be repaying the loan, और कब रेवेन्यू कैश इनफ्लो आना स्टार्ट होगा, कब कैश आउटफ्लो कितना होगा. तो ये सारे जो फाइनेंशियल प्रोजेक्शंस हैं, these are involved in the stage 3 of commercialization or technology transfer in the market analysis and business planning stage. So this is very important to avoid any risks in the future. एक clear blueprint होना, एक vision होना, एक focus होना, mission होना कि हमें क्या achieve करना है अपने इन्वेंशन, अपने प्रोडक्ट के थ्रू, एक बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है. जनरली क्या होता है, जो टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड इनोवेटर्स होते हैं, वो सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी पे फोकस करते हैं, विच इज नॉट सफिशिएंट. आपको यू हैव टू बी द जैक ऑफ ऑल ट्रेड्स. जरूरी नहीं है कि आप सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी में अच्छे हैं तो द प्रोडक्ट वुड ऑटोमेटिकली बी सोल्ड इन द मार्केट. इसके चांसेस बहुत कम होते हैं. You have to be very thorough with the market analysis, with the marketing, with the business planning, so that your product is impactful commercially in the market. So market analysis and business planning is the uh, important stage of technology transfer and commercialization. This is followed by licensing or startup formation. Now in the stage 4, We come to the licensing of aspect of it, which involves granting a company the right to use the technology in exchange of royalties, or a startup formation which requires securing funding and building a management team. So इस stage में क्या होता है, you have to form a company अंडर द कंपनीज एक्ट ऑफ इंडिया. आपको एक कंपनी फॉर्म करनी होती है. नाउ इट डिपेंड्स ऑन यू, हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू फॉर्म द कंपनी. वुड इट बी अ सिंगल proprietary firm, or would it be a company, section 8 company, or there are partnership firms होते हैं. तो आप कैसी कंपनी फॉर्म करना चाहते हैं, यू हैव टू टेक अ कॉल एट दिस स्टेज. Accordingly, you have to formulate a company, set up a company. उसके according जो है, then the right to use the technology in exchange of the royalties is decided, कि आप कितनी royalty लेंगे. जो अपने इंडस्ट्री पार्टनर से या जिनके साथ आप कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं, वो किस फॉर्म में आएंगी, वेदर इट वुड बी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ इक्विटी और शेयर्स. तो फॉर ऑल द ट्रांसफर ऑफ द इक्विटी और शेयर्स, forming a company, a legal entity, is very important, so that the equity or the royalty can be transferred to you uh, in exchange of your technology that you have invented, and transfer of it. So, licensing or startup formation is very important, which is the stage 4, followed by stage 5, which is the product development and manufacturing. Now, you have to develop the technology into a prototype and a commercial product at this stage. How? By establishing a manufacturing process. For scalability, you have to set up a plant or a manufacturing facility, or scale up your institute laboratory if you're building it from the institute. That how are you going to develop the product, from that develop that product and manufacture it in bulk. uh, you should be able to meet the demand, the meet the requirement of the product in the market by manufacturing it at your facility. So what would be the raw materials required, what would be the the investment or the financial cash inflow required, what would be the supply chain, कहाँ से आप मटेरियल सोर्स करेंगे, कहाँ पे असेंबल करेंगे. तो ये सारी चीजें जो है इस स्टेज पे इन्वॉल्व होती हैं, विच इज प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट एंड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. क्या प्रक्रिया आप यूज करेंगे, वेदर यू वुड बी यूजिंग लीन मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, सिक्स सिग्मा, या जो भी आप प्रोसेस फॉलो करेंगे, ये सारी चीजें आपको इस स्टेज पे डिसाइड करके फाइनल करनी होती हैं, कि हाउ आर यू गोइंग टू डेवलप द प्रोडक्ट एंड मैन्युफैक्चर इट. Next comes the another important stage, which is marketing and sales. जैसा पहले से मैं बताता आ रहा हूँ, you have to launch and market the product to the target customers who are actually looking for your product or invention in the market. एक finding the right product market fit is very important. Your product should meet the requirements of the target customers. You have to find who is the target customer, and the requirement of your product by them, or with any improvements in the product which are required by the target audience. So the finding the right market fit is very important. And then after you found it, you have to establish the sales channels for commercial success. You have to set up the supply chain of it, like how are you going to make the product reach the end customer, whether you would be shipping it online, or you're going to set up kiosks, or you're going to set up an offline facility, or you're going to set up a shop. So you have to decide the sales channel, the marketing channel, how are you going to market it, advertise it, so that the customers, they gain awareness about your product or service, and they can buy your product, and which can lead to your commercial success. So this was the marketing and sales stage, the stage 6, and the last stage, it was for launching your product into the market. Now, what is the classical role of the university or academic institution in technology transfer or commercialization. So, like I told you, the institution also has several benefits from the technology transfer and commercialization of innovation. It not only fetches revenue to them, it helps them to, fetch a good reputation. अगर आप डिफरेंट असेसमेंट फ्रेमवर्क्स भी देखेंगे, बीट NIRF रैंकिंग हो गया, अक्रेडेशंस हो गए, उसमें भी इनोवेशन का एक एस्पेक्ट होता है जिसमें हर इंस्टीट्यूट, हर यूनिवर्सिटी को स्कोर किया जाता है, ग्रेड किया जाता है उसमें. तो डेफिनेटली जो है कॉमर्शियलाइजेशन और टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर is very rewarding for the institute, not only for the inventor. तो इसमें जो है फंडामेंटल साइंस से चालू होकर के बेसिक रिसर्च एंड अप्लाइड रिसर्च, प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट एंड प्रोडक्शन, ये सारे स्टेजेस होते हैं जो पास होते हैं फ्रॉम अ यूनिवर्सिटी टू द टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर ऑफिस टू द न्यू कंपनीज एंड लाइसेंसेस. सो through the technology transfer offices, the universities or the academic education institutions, they play a very important role in transferring your technology and making it a commercial product to launch it in the market. तो जैसा मैंने पहले बताए थे क्या स्टेप्स होते हैं, कैसे सर्च कमिटी जो है, स्क्रूटिनी कमिटी, वो चेक करती है whether your item is novel, whether it has been patented or not. ये सारे जो है वायबिलिटीज चेक करके देन you have to license your company and introduce technology innovation to the market. Now, uh, don't know compelling market or customer needs. जब आप इंस्टीट्यूट में होते हैं तो you don't know the compelling market or the customer needs. You lack, there's lack of interest and resource for application development, and mostly individual, small group or distributed research takes place. But this gap is bridged by like they understand the state of art emerging technologies. Technology is not matured for commercialization yet. There is single IPs not good enough for business development. You come to know all this when you're, in the process of transferring your technology into a commercial product. Now coming to intellectual property rights and patent protection. So why intellectual property rights and patent protection is important in technology transfer? Because it gives you a legal protection for the innovative product or service that you have developed. It also helps in monetization of the research inputs, and it encourages investment in further R&D. Plus, it also helps in fetching investment from the angel investors or from the venture capitalists or any investment firm out there in the market. Once you tell them that your product has been granted patent, it builds a strong reputation that this product has that uh, that strength to be fruitful in the future and bring profits in the future. Now, what are the types of intellectual property protection? The first type is patents. Now, what are patents? Patents are exclusive rights to an invention for 20 years. So, once you have made an invention, you have to file for the patent, which grants you an exclusive right to use it for 20 years. There is a fee that you have to pay. There is uh, a fee for filing the patent, the attorney fee, the annual fee. There are different types of fees that you have to bear once you are filing the patent to secure exclusive rights for your invention for the 20 years. What happens after 20 years? After 20 years, the it becomes free to be used by the market. Then there won't be any exclusive rights for you. Then copyrights are another form of IPR in which they protect the original works of authorship. Then trademarks protect the brand names or logos and symbols, whereas trade secrets, like some recipes or any uh, recipe or a solution which is being used. So all these are protected through trade secrets, which through which they protect the confidential information of your business. So these are some forms of IPR protection, which you can protect your invention, your company name, your brand name, logo, symbol, or if you're an author, you can protect your original work that you have written through copyrights or your logos, or you know these are all the different types of IPR through which you can protect your invention. So, intellectual property is the creation of the minds of an individual which has commercial and moral value. Intellectual property rights, they grant exclusive rights to an author for utilizing and benefiting from their creation. So, like I told you, it can be uh, like your product or service can be copied in the market with the lot of competition that is right out there in the market. So to protect it, intellectual property rights come into picture through different types, be it patent, copyright, trademark, design, or a trade secret. So you would see a table here on your screen. For patent, the target is the product or the method. You can either file a patent for your product or the method. What are the requirements for registration? It should be new, it should differ fundamentally from others, and it should be industrially applicable. And how to obtain the protection? It is the patent is filed and it is granted. Then similarly, if you look at utility model or registered design or trademark, these are the different targets that uh, the target product or method that is protected through IPR. In trademarks, we protect the symbol of the product or the logo, character, work number, pattern, sound, etc. And it here, what is the requirement for registration when you're going to file a trademark? It should be identifying, it should be clearly distinctive and not contrary to a good practice. And you can file it by registering through the IPR through the attorney by protecting your intellectual property. Now, these are some examples of intellectual property. You can see here on your screen that medicines, they are patent protected from direct imitation for a limited period of time, and uh, after 20 years then they can be open to anyone in the market, so that it facilitates different patients with the unique pharmacy that they have created. And trademarks of phrases, pictures, names, or symbols that are used to identify a particular brand or a organization. The McDonald's logo, the golden arches, they are the uh, trademark of McDonald's. Once you see them from even a distance, you can easily recognize that it is McDonald's. Similarly, with if we look at KFC has protected its formula, the recipe of how it uh, prepares the different meals that it serves. Even Coca-Cola, Pepsi, they have all protected their trade secrets so to prevent them from getting copied from the competitors in the market. So the whole point is that once you're launching your technology invention in the market, uh, patenting or copywriting or trademarking, intellectual property rights are very important to protect your invention from getting copied from the competition in the market, because this would, if it is getting copied, this would bring losses to you. If your product is getting copied, your revenue will go down, your profitability will go down. So before launching your product, you should definitely file for the patent or copyright or trademark of your invention. So this would protect your product from getting copied. Now, what are the steps for filing a patent? First is you have to conduct a prior art search. Check if there are similar patents existing or not. Then you have to prepare a patent application You have to justify the claims and descriptions that you're making, that it has not been, made by anyone else, the invention that you have developed. Then you have to file it with the patent office, apply with all the relevant authorities, with all your documents supporting the proof uh, that this is a novel research, how you have developed it, what is the process involved in development of this research. And then you have to file it in the patent office through attorney. Then examination and approval, the patent examiner reviews your application. This is a time taking process, but then once the patent is granted, then maintenance and enforcement, which involves renewing your patents annually, or the however the terms and conditions are, and protecting it against the infringement or getting copied from the competitors in the market or anyone else with a bad will. So these are the steps involved in filing a patent. Now, technology licensing models. Licensing is actually the key mechanism for technology transfer, and it has different. There are different types of licensing agreements in the market. There are a lot of royalty and revenue models. There's a fixed royalty model in which a fixed payment is received by the inventor in return of the technology usage by a company or an industry partner or someone in the market who's using their invention. There's a fixed royalty fee that is paid by the user to the inventor. Then there is revenue sharing model, in which there's a percentage decided mutually between the inventor and the partner or the the sales channel, that what would be the percentage based revenue that he would be getting as an inventor from the sales of the product. So that is revenue sharing model. Then there are milestone payments, that if you attain a certain target of product sales, say for example, you have developed a, say, thermometer or a different kind of a medical instrument, uh, and you are launching it commercially in the market. So if it's 10,000 units would be sold, this much is the payment that you would be receiving. If it's 20,000 units are sold in the market, you would be receiving this much payment. So there are different milestones being set, and MOU or an agreement is executed between the parties, which agree upon the milestone and how it is going to be uh, generating revenue for the inventor. Now, there is an exclusive license in which only one licensee gets the rights. This is how you can, uh, go. These are different licensing models. Like if you're launching your product commercially, you can either have grant one license uh, of the product that you're launching, or you can have multiple licenses, or you can have only one license, but the owner can still use the technology, which is called the sole license. Or there can be a cross license in which there is exchange of technology between two entities. Like you are an academic institution A and there's academic institution B, and you enter a license agreement, and you transfer your technology and help institution B, and institution B has also made some invention and they transfer their technology to you. So there's a mutual understanding and mutual growth and development taking place in cross license. Whereas in sole license, even if you are commercially launching your product, you still have the right as an owner to use that technology, or your institution or your lab facility, that technology can be used in your facility. And in exclusive rights, only the entity to whom you are transferring the rights, only that person or that company, that organization, only they can exclusively use your invention as a commercial product. uh, it can be a single license product, it can be a multiple license product. So these are the different technology licensing models available when you're trying to commercialize your product. Now, coming to the challenges in technology transfer and commercialization. Till now, we have talked about how are we going to technology transfer the product or commercialize your invention. But what are the different challenges involved in the tech transfer and commercialization processes? The first is the scientific challenges. Translating research findings into a viable product or achieving industry standards and regulatory approvals. These are some scientific challenges that are involved when you're commercializing your product. You have to translate your exact research finding into a product which is viable in the market. You as a technology person may not be aware of the market, how about like actually is the requirement in the market, what is the demand, am I would I be able to meet the demand, would I be able to supply the product at the right price point, would I be able to achieve the industry standards and regulatory approvals and certifications that are required if I'm launching my product or service? If I'm, say, launching a food product, I have to get FSSAI certification. If you are launching a safety product, you have to get ISO certifications. So these are all the challenges that you have to uh, address when you're looking into commercialization of technology. Then financial challenges. There's a scarcity of funding during early stage research, which is also known as value of death. Initially, you would require a lot of funding when you're trying to develop your product into a market fit product, or say a viable product, or say a commercial product. So initially there's a lot of funding required, not only in the research and development but in the testing phases, in the launching phases, advertising phases. So there's a lot of funding which is required. So finding the right amount of funds is again a challenge which is a part of commercialization. Then the high cost of patenting and legal processes. Once you're when you're filing a patent of your invention, so there's a fee that you have to pay when you're filing it to the patent office. You have to pay the fee for the attorney who is filing your patent on your behalf, who is doing all the scrutiny for you. Plus you have to pay the annual fees that are there. So all these, they incur a lot of cost and expenses on the part of the inventor, or say the institution, university, or the organization in which the invention has taken place, and they are going looking forward to commercialize it. So these are some financial challenges that are faced when you're trying to commercialize and technology transfer your innovation. Now, marketing and business challenges. So uh, inventing the product is one thing, then predicting its market demand and adoption in the market is a completely different thing. Then competition from the existing technologies. So these are some market and business challenges that need to be addressed by marketing, finding the right product market fit, its adoption in the market, how my product would be adopted, how would it be taken up by the customers, and how much demand it would generate, how am I going to fulfill that demand through my manufacturing facility, through my sales channels, am I going to meet these challenges, and how am I going to face the competition in the market. So there's a lot of competition in the market in any product or service domain. There are like n number of companies out there in the market. So how does your product or service differentiate from them? Why would a end consumer buy your product or service and not buy the product or service of the competitor? So these are the market and business challenges involved when you're commercializing your invention. Then a lot of institutional and policy barriers are also involved. However, gradually they are fading with the coming of NEP 2020 and a lot of importance being given to innovation, research, and entrepreneurship in the academic institutions. But there are some complex university policies on IP ownership. Even some universities or academic institutions, they have stringent policies that no, you cannot, file a IP or a patent. You cannot uh, make your product a commercially viable product, or you cannot launch your product or a company. Then there is lack of incentives for researchers to commercialize their product. There is a lack of rewards that the inventor get in turn of the commercialization of the products that they are doing, the research that they are conducting. They are less rewarded, so there's less motivation on the part of the faculty members or the researchers when it comes to commercialization or technology transfer. So all these barriers, they need to be bridged, and they need to be, they need to be mechanism which is flawless, which is paperless, which is not so complicated or complex. There should be seamless mechanism, facilitating mechanism, which should help the faculty members and researchers to support them in carrying out their research and development or innovation practices in the institutions, the laboratories, the facilities. The infrastructure should be nice. The lab facilities should be modern, state of the art facilities need to be there, so that it is motivating for the faculty and the researchers, the students, the innovators to carry out their research, and which would not only fetch rewards for the faculty, but it would in turn bring reputation to the institution as well, the university as well. So all these barriers, they need to be addressed so that there is successful commercialization and technology transfer of the innovation. Now, this is the technology transfer curve. On y-axis, it has the psychographic profiles of the innovators, the early adopters, the early majority, and the late majority, then laggards. And then the on y-axis, you have the technology adoption. So it actually tells us the different types of innovators or the early adopters, like your how are you there in the race, whether you're leading by being an innovator or an early adopter or early majority, late majority, or you're lagging behind as laggards. So this is the technology innovation curve. Now we'll come to some successful case studies or examples talking about technology transfer and commercialization. uh, First is the Google's search algorithm. Google, we all are aware about it. Like, we use it in our daily lives to search anything that we want to search. Now, you would be surprised to know that by licensing from the Google, Stanford license from Stanford to Google, it helped it to fetch 3,36,000 million US million dollars, and it became the backbone of the multi-billion dollar search industry. So, like I keep telling you that invention is not only commercializing an invention. It does not only bring rewards to the inventor. It also brings rewards to the university or the academic institution. In this example, uh, the Stanford University is into picture, which generated revenue by commercializing its invention, which was generated there, which is Google. Then X-ray technology. uh, MIT's research led to Siemens developing X-ray scanning devices. So the research, which was originally started from MIT University in collaboration with Siemens Technologies, which is a company, it helped into developing X-ray scanning devices, and which revolutionized the medical imaging and security screening. So, like, industry partnership is very important when you're trying to commercially technology transfer, your innovation. This is a very good example of it, that how X-rays came into picture through collaboration between Siemens and MIT, and definitely it brought rewards to both Siemens and MIT. Then COVID-19 vaccines, they were also developed through university industry partnerships. The university research led to the rapid development of mRNA vaccines, which was Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna. So all these were a result of uh, innovation or research and development which was being carried out at industry, at universities or academic institutions, which helped us to beat the COVID-19 pandemic through university industry partnerships. So this is again, it tells us that why commercialization and technology transfer is so important. And licensing agreements, then they enabled the mass production of the COVID-19 vaccines, which were started developing through university research. Now, these are the benefits of the society. This is an example from the United States, that how commercialization and technology transfer, they bring rewards and benefits to the society and the economy. So, this is an example of 2022, in which even though $91.8 billion was spent in research expenditure, and there were 24,140 inventions taking place. There were more than 7,000 patents filed, and more than 16,000 patent applications filed, and more than 9,000 licenses and options were executed, which led to 850 products developed in the US market, uh, which in turn led to about 1,000 startups being formed at the United States, and more than 6,000 startups are operational as of 2022. This is a old data, but it still holds true, and it tells us, it gives us a clear picture that what are the benefits of uh, commercializing and technology transferring our innovation and our inventions to the market. So it not only brings fruits to the uh, individual innovator, the institution, but it also brings rewards to the society and economy as a whole. Uh, this again serves as the backbone of the Atmanirbhar Bharat that we are talking about. We are talking about Make in India. We are talking about Vision 2047, the Viksit Bharat at 2047. So, in these visions, I feel commercialization and technology transfer through innovation, research and development, entrepreneurship, they play a very huge role in developing, moving from, say, Atmanirbhar Bharat to Viksit Bharat. Now, what are the barriers to technology transfer? A, there is lack of awareness. What technologies are available to them? The inventors are not aware of it. There is lack of knowledge, that if a staff of a company or a inventor in an academic institution, they are lacking technology knowledge, it may not be able to capitalize on the technology being offered in the transfer. uh, इसमें होता क्या है, that the inventor itself lacks the knowledge that that I have actually developed a technology or a product which is actually required in the market, and they keep on using it within their lab facility, within their institute, only within their institute boundaries, so it doesn't reach the huge number of audience or the end consumers in the market. Then there is lack of funds. Company may not be able to afford the development costs of the technology being transferred. There are lack of common interest. The individuals putting the interest of their own company, they put them their interest ahead of the alliance interest. Then there's conflict of interest even in collaborations on technical level or strong. It has been found that collaborations between competing companies, they don't work out. So these are some of the barriers that are observed in the technology transfer landscape. So addressing these barriers is again very important. you have to be very aware of the invention that you're going to develop or build. You have to have the complete knowledge about it, make a clear roadmap, a clear business plan. How are you going to make the product? What is the funding that you would be requiring? So, and what would be the partnership model, licensing type that you would be aiming at? So, all these you need to have a clear picture in your mind and a clear blueprint to overcome these barriers of technology transfer. There are some more barriers like lack of trust. If there is little trust exists between companies, it is doomed to fail. Trust is very important when you're collaborating with companies or say different academic institutions. Then there's poor communication, failing to keep each other abreast of the relevant and activities, thoughts, processes, goals, directions of the venture. Should be very transparent. The communication should be very transparent. Then there's lack of infrastructure. The company or the organization may lack equipment and facility in the infrastructure to take on the transfer. Having a sustainable infrastructure facility is again very important for technology transfer. Then only you can uh, build your invention, or you can work on your research. Then overcommittedness. The company may be overcommitted on current projects and simply lacks the time needed for success. So you have your own different focuses. There's lack of focus uh, in terms of technology transfer, or uh, and how are you going to commercially make your product become successful. There's a lack of focus on it. So this is again a barrier to technology transfer which needs to be addressed. Then, regarding collaboration in technology transfer and commercialization, there are barriers like technology problems, which are generally overcome, but which add to the time and money and frustration. So, technical problems need to be addressed collaboratively. You need to sit and solve those technical problems, come up with a mutually agreed solution to them with your technology partners. Then there's resource limitation, like I told, that there's poor budget control or lack of infrastructure. Then there's change in project structure. There's loss of key members or loss of partner. Once you're on your journey to technology transfer and commercialization, uh, you should be very important. It is very important to have a clear picture in your mind, a clear blueprint, that this would be the structure that I would be working on. These are the people that I would be working with, and it is your responsibility to retain those key members and partnerships, and be it industry partnerships, private partnerships, your investors or anyone. It is your responsibility to keep that structure contact. So then there are organization problems due to partner losing or changing interest in the technological side. So these are again barriers on with regard to the collaboration in the technology transfer process. Uh, Now, moving towards conclusion, commercialization and technology transfer, they are crucial in translating research into impactful innovations. And universities, research labs, and startups, they all need to come together and collaborate effectively and efficiently to ensure smooth transitions from the lab to the market. So there needs to be an ecosystem come into picture, where all these entities can collaborate and work towards commercializing the technical innovations into bringing them into market commercially. So they play a very crucial role in uh, making something impactful for the economy, the world, the society. So that is the main, gist of the commercialization and technology transfer, that your innovation should reach to as maximum people as possible, so that it benefits not only them but you as well. So this is the whole point of commercialization and technology transfer. So future trends in commercialization and technology transfer, uh, that are estimated are that there would be open innovation models with collaboration between universities, corporations, and startups. Like I told you, there needs to be an ecosystem. Then, with the coming in of artificial intelligence and digital technologies, the uh, patent searches and licensing agreements would become automated in the future, which would, bring down the stringent measures that are there, the stringent procedures that are there to protect your technology or innovation through intellectual property rights. Then, government industry partnerships. There would be increased public funding for tech commercialization in future. Like you can see these days, even in the accreditation frameworks and IRF rankings, there's a uh, there's a dimension which is given for commercialization or patents or IPRs or innovations or Section 8 companies, incubation centers. So this definitely tells us that in future there would be even more funding from the government to commercially develop the technology or the innovation that we are working on. Then sustainable innovations, there would be future innovations or technologies would be focused on clean technology and renewable energy solutions, looking into the different environmental concerns like greenhouse effect and the different ice melting and the different environmental concerns that we are facing. So looking into that, I feel that the sustainable innovations would be more coming up more in the future, which would help to solve all these environmental problems, and there would be a sustainable growth of the society, the nation, and the world at large. So these are my concluding thoughts that researchers, entrepreneurs, and institutions, they all must actively participate in commercialization ecosystem, and by understanding the intellectual property rights, the licensing mechanisms, and the business strategies, they can maximize the impact of the innovations and contribute to the economic and societal growth. So, with these final thoughts, I would conclude this presentation. This is Pavan Kataria signing off. Thank you so much for patiently listening. थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू, थैंक यू सो मच।